Before I get into this post-fight results, post-fight review, I'm going to read you some quotes from the man Callum Smith. Callum Smith said, quote, "Watching me in that fight, it looks like maybe 168 has taken a little bit out of me. Because before that fight, Canelo never really mentioned me. After the Hassan and Dom fight, after the George Groves fight, I wasn't really in their plans. And then the minute I perform bad, they start mentioning me. Maybe that's got something to do with it, but as I've said, if that version of me turns up, then I'll lose a fight. But if the best version of me turns up, I believe I win this fight." End quote. That's Callum Smith talking about his last fight with John Ryder. More quotes. Quote, "I don't really know what Canelo reason was for taking this fight, but the minute I underperformed, I had people wanting me to fight me. I had people wanting to fight me, whereas before no one was wanting to fight me. So yeah, I think the Ryder fight has been a bit of a blessing in disguise, but I've got to make sure that that version of me doesn't turn up." End quote. That's what's from the man Callum Smith. Now Callum Smith has been saying everything I've been saying. He's heard the rumblings around in the boxing world, and he already know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? He took a thorough beating tonight. You know what I'm saying? The man's nose got busted up, got caught with a vicious uppercut. This fight was very non. This fight was whack, man. I ain't even gonna hold you, man. This fight was fucking whack. Very non-competitive. It was a mismatch from top to bottom. I swear to God, man, if you paid $69.99 for this, man, you're the biggest boo-boo clown, man, there is. You know what I mean? Because that's the reason Canoli picked this guy. You know what I mean? Tall guy. This guy was the taller guy, had the longer reach, but you couldn't tell. The man just was on his back foot for the whole fight. You know what I mean? Canoli Alvarez was playing with his food in there. You know what I'm saying? The man Canoli, to be honest, he beat this guy beat worse than he beat the man, what's his name? Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. And Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. ain't win one round in that fight versus Canoli. You know what I mean? The man Canoli, man, in the first round, first round could have gone either way. Either way, I only gave the man Callum Smith one round, and that was round 5. He was getting battered in there. Now the guy did show that he has a chin, and he ain't no Rocky Feldon. He ain't gonna fold, and he ain't no Kovalev. That's the only thing that he did great tonight, that he made the final bell. You know what I'm saying? He didn't capitulate. The man was getting battered. Vicious body shots. The uppercut, man. The man Canoli couldn't miss with the uppercut. And the uppercut is a vicious weapon for fighters who are tall, on a shorter guy, or on for shorter guys like Mike Tyson style. You know what I mean? I'll read you some more quotes from the man um, Callum Smith before this fight happened tonight. Quote, "It's either they believe in their own ability and want to fight the best and want to take on the biggest challenge possible, or maybe they think they're catching me on short notice and maybe reading into my last performance and maybe think the weight's hurting me. I don't know. Listen, only they know that. All I know is I feel 100%. I feel really good. And I believe the best version of me steps through the ropes this weekend. And if that's the case, then I believe I will win." End quote. That's Callum Smith basically talking about Canoli thinks he's catching him on a short notice because he only had 4 weeks to prepare. Now this fight was not competitive, man. There's not much to really talk about. The man, Callum Smith, was pot shotting the guy. You know what I mean? Not committing to his punches, not standing firm, holding his ground, pumping that jab out, throwing a vicious right hand behind it. You know what I'm saying? The man was trying to do them check left hooks. That shit ain't gonna work with this guy, with Canoli. You can't be there trying to hook with a hooker, man. You better throw your straight punches. And Callum Smith was just outclassed in there, man. This was a bad beating. And if this is pay per view, the straight jab to the head and the straight right to the pit of the stomach by Canoli, the uppercuts when he had him on the ropes, the man was out jabbing Callum Smith, and Callum Smith has the longer reach, but he just wasn't using his reach and height. The man was fighting like he's a little mouse, and Canelo's the big cat cornering the little mouse in the corner. You know what I mean? Canelo just manhandled this guy, man, and I can't recall the last time I've seen Canoli batter a guy like this for 12 straight rounds. I can't recall. I can't recall. I can't even say Alfred Angulo because that fight got stopped a little prematurely. Okay, so that didn't go 12. This one did. Julio Cesar Chavez, he ain't take a thorough beating like this, you know. Danny Jacobs, he won more rounds than Callum Smith. It was more competitive. So, unfortunately, man, Callum Smith gets his ass handed to him. Sold his belt, his WBA belt, and his what you call it, the Ring Magazine belt. And it is what it is. What do we want to see next from Canoli? I'd like to see at least three to four fights from him. Bubu Andrade, Jamal Charlo, David Benavidez, Caleb Plant, Billy Joe Saunders. Any of those fights will do for me. I won't be mad at none of those fights. And hopefully, if those fights can be made next, Canelo actually gives this guys ample enough time. I'm talking about at least an 8-week training camp. No more 4-week training camps. I'm sick of this shit. B Marsh Boxing, leave your thoughts and comments. Let me know what you think about Callum Smith getting his ass handed to him on a short notice. And now he's has no straps, you know what I mean? B Marsh Boxing, leave your thoughts and comments. I'm gone. Peace.